Hello, everyone, and welcome to BAMcast, episode 2. We did it, guys.
We're back.
We did it. Yeah.
Took like 5 months, but we did.
Yeah, you know, whatever. It just took TD to have another hiatus, and then like this perfect combination of a lot of our favorites having comebacks at the same time. It's like the perfect recipe for BAMcast. So here we are. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, so this is we're BAM, Baron and Sam. We're mods for the TD Discord. Truly Daebak is that's the channel we're on right now. They normally do the podcast.
Or not.
We've been on it. Yeah. Jacob's busy with school, so you know it's been a rough year. I don't know if you've heard, but stuff happened. So we're stepping up because we wanted to talk about stuff. So here we are to talk about stuff, and we're gonna hijack the podcast, whether they like it or not.
Woohoo!
So hello, how are you? Hello. So I'm Sam. If you don't know, I'm Sam.
I'm Baron.
And I'm
as you can see by
Baron.
our little name tags down here.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam can't see where hers is.
Yeah. We're also joined by our cats, who are both awake and might cause chaos at some point during the episode.
This thing behind me might fall down. We'll see.
Yeah. So it'll be exciting.
Oh. Right on cue.
Oh gosh. All right. I guess we can start. So, I don't know if we should go in like the order. I guess things.
I guess we probably should have discussed that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What do you feel like talking about first?
I feel like, you know, we'll go in the order things have come out. We can talk about some CLC first, since they were the first ones to come out in September, I think. Yeah, they were in September. Yeah, so CLC finally came back.
Finally. Took like...
Thank God.
8 months? 9 months?
Yep.
Something like that.
It was only one song, but...
Yeah, it's a little disappointing there was only one song, but...
Yeah. It was like hasn't it been a year?
It's been a while. No, it's... When was
the
that?
only
like
song
November,
this year. Maybe? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, that sounds maybe right.
Yeah, but it's been like a year and a half since their last EP. Probably not going to get one this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm not counting on it. I think they could maybe do it. I'm trying to think what Cube's done, because Cube, they just had CLC and Idol, and they're having Pentagon in October. So
I guess Pentagon had an album earlier this year.
Yeah, Pentagon had an album. They had Road to Kingdom, and now they're doing another album. And Yanon's back, which is exciting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was big news in Sam World.
That's all I care about. But anyway, back to CLC. So they came out with Helicopter, and I thought it was a pretty solid release, I'd say.
I definitely agree. It's definitely like in the banger mold that they've been doing lately. It's like not the same as like a Hate or something, but
yeah, I think it lacks that like staying power a little bit. I think after a few listens, I was kind of like, okay, yeah.
I've still been listening to it, but it's definitely not like on the top of my song of the year list or anything.
Yeah, it's not on the same level as Me or Devil from last year.
Yeah, both of those made my top 10 last year.
Yeah, those are songs that I'm like, I'm going to remember these songs from 2019. Whereas this, I'm like, I'll remember this as CLC's one song that they came up with.
And we're happy for it, but...
Very happy for it. I think what just also makes it sadder is because last year they had mentioned like maybe kind of an album coming out in the future. And then there was this long break, and then we just get one song.
At least it's not a digital single again, so at least there's...
That's true. However, I don't understand why they couldn't put the other 2 digital singles on this album.
That's a good point.
I would have been...
get put on the album at some point.
I hope so. I would have been so much happier if they had done that. Just at least put Devil and Me on it, because that would have been such a great single to own.
Yeah.
And I would have felt much more satisfied buying that than just buying something with one song on it.
I always feel bad. And by always feel bad, I mean I've never actually bought an album with only one song on it. It just feels like it's not like I'm really buying them for like the value of songs, because I'm not really buying the songs, but
you feel like you can justify it a little bit more.
Like I don't only need the Luna singles, even though I like most of them, just because it's like 2 songs.
Yeah, that's very true. Like I know I bought April's single from last month or something. It had 2 songs on it, but I still bought 2 versions of it, and I was just like, this just feels stupid.
That's bold that they even had 2 versions.
I had to support. It was their first time. Oh no, just kidding. They did 2 versions earlier in the year. But yeah, I think CLC was great. I think Sungi stole the show this comeback. Her chorus part is so freaking good.
That's a little bit surprising, because I didn't think she was one of your favorites.
She's not one of my favorites, but I can respect when a member is like really hones it in, and I think it really fit her this comeback. Like the way she just like takes control of the chorus is really good. And then like the usual standouts I thought were great as well. Like, Ian's always going to do great.
I really like her rapping. I just like that style of rapping, so like no matter what she does, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love Cube rapping.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's like actually like distinctive and like has character.
So
it's actually kind of fun.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope she comes out with something solo in the future, because I know she was it Good Girl?
Yeah.
That show that she was doing. So I think it would be really exciting to get. I just want CLC content. Whether it's solos from them, sub units, or just the group. Just literally anything. Like it's too hard for them to come back as a group. Just give me solo debuts. Like so many of them could do it. I know Elkie kind of had one. Sungi could do ballads. Sungyeon and Yeon could have phenomenal solo careers.
I feel like Yeon would be like the choice one, because I feel like that'd be the one I'd enjoy the most. Like Sungi would be good, but definitely be kind of like a ballad, like I don't know, like AP and Gunji or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about like the English in the chorus? That was like my only I was a little bit iffy. Like it just seemed like there was like a little bit weird. And like I still like the song, I still like the chorus, but it's like like a little bit too much English for my taste, maybe.
I didn't notice the English at first, but then everyone commented on it, and then I heard it. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. Like I was fine with just I go up helicopter and make hella noise for the takeoff, which I realize is half of the chorus. But like a pilot part, I was like, okay, you lost me.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Yeah.
I still think it's like, I don't know, it's definitely one of the best songs of the quarter, and it's definitely gonna make like my top 100 songs of the year list, but playing like the bottom half of that.
Yeah, I agree. So overall, happy for CLC.
Yeah.
Give us more, please.
So I'll say some of the live stages were pretty good. They have good outfits, and they always have very good stage presence, so that's always fun. So
they had like a crowd for him, like a whole squad.
Yeah.
So glad to see that they're getting some attention from Cube. And it would have been nice if they could have gotten a win with it, but I didn't
they get
have.
Pretty close, or am I confusing them with someone else?
They might have gotten second at one of the shows, but yeah, I don't know. Oh. He's gonna Spider-Man crawl up
I think he is at some point. Oh, he ran away. So any other thoughts on CLC?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. It was only one song, so not too much more to talk about, and we really talked about all there is, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm good. So what's next on the list? I honestly can't remember what came out next.
I'm guessing YooA. I was about to say Yuna. YooA with Bon Voyage. Oh, cat. if you're not watching the podcast, you should now because there's a cat and he just waved.
He's a natural. So, of course, as the resident Oh My Girl stan, how do you feel about YooA's debut? And your YooA bias?
I am. It doesn't mean much since I bias 3 of the members, but I am very content. I'm very happy. I wish this wasn't this year, though, but I'll take it. I wish they did more like another group comeback to kind of like ride the high.
Oh, I can get that. Yeah.
And I would have, and then like have YooA solo debut next year.
I will say I was a little bit surprised. Like, I guess it makes sense for her to be the first solo debut of the group, but I was a little surprised it happened when it did.
Yeah, it like the whole thing kind of just seemed, it was such a weird, interesting, I guess, move. I'm curious why they did that. I don't know if it's because some of the other members are doing other things right now.
Yeah.
Because they're like popular and they're getting asked to do all these different stuff. So they might just not have time for a group comeback. But I hope we can get one soon. I know there's going to be a Japanese one coming up sometime because they keep releasing songs. But I am
Japanese
very
comeback's only like half count.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's not the same. You don't get the full like build up and live stages and everything.
Yeah.
But I was very happy. I was surprised with the direction they went. The whole thing was a very just kind of like this was not what I would have ever expected.
Well, when that first teaser dropped and it was like the giant wolf, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Because I always just imagine, I guess, if YooA had a solo, she would do kind of what I would think Silgi would do.
Yeah.
Where it has like a Taemin-esque like
a sultry type of thing to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought this was a really interesting direction, and I really liked it because I think this is her song was something I feel like I have not heard in K-pop yet.
Yeah.
Which is a very refreshing thing to have, since so often I feel like we're just getting the same stuff over and over again. So it was a really nice change, and I thought it was a good song. So
I definitely really like that. It's I'm just pulling out my headphone cable. I definitely like the fairy side of Oh My Girl better than their cute side, I guess. So like this is definitely up my alley, and I liked it a lot more than I expected to. We'll talk about the album tracks as we go, but like even the title track I think is gonna make probably my top 20 25 songs of the year. Like I just really vibe with that stuff. Like my 2 favorite Oh My Girl songs are Closer and SSFWL. So I definitely like that style a little bit more than the other stuff, but obviously I like almost all their title tracks. I was a huge fan of like the fairy concept part of this comeback because I love fairies. So to have a fairy YooA was just like perfect. I thought the music video was pretty good. I always like music videos that actually shot like on somewhere, not just like in a room. So it's nice that it was like outdoors and by the ocean and in the forest and stuff.
And it was nice to, especially since Nonstop was so like CG heavy.
Yeah, that was like entirely CG.
Yeah, so to kind of not get so this is just like more nature shots was nice. And just overall such a refreshing, like I just felt like I came out of a spa. It's so nice.
I really like the dance break at the end where it's just the instrumental playing and she's just kind of like dancing around. I've been watching I think I've seen every single live stage of this just because I really like it.
They're so pretty. The live stages, like the different formations that are made. I love the backup dancers and how they're styled.
And there's like so many of them. Like they have pretty like you said cool formations, and I really like all of YooA's outfits and all of the live stages. It's just really the styling is really on point.
It's overall it was a great solo debut. I'm very happy, and this just means that she's going to get more solos at some point in the future, which is exciting. But talking now about some of the album tracks, Now, I'm just gonna go straight and talk about. I guess we can talk about Abracadabra because that's the one that got promoted with it, and that was much more, I guess, in the direction I thought her debut was gonna go for a title track.
I agree. I almost felt like this could have maybe at one point this was the title track before they switched it or something, because it definitely has the vibe I was more expecting, and it makes sense why it was the promoted song of the B-sides.
Yeah, and I remember when I listened to it, I even thought that probably could have just been an Oh My Girl song, since it kind of since Oh My Girl has now done Vogue in as the B-side Vogue, I've kind of been like, okay, they can do this sound where
that's one of my favorite songs too.
Yeah, so it definitely works because YooA can do the abracadabra part in the chorus, and then some of the more melodic parts can be taken up by some of the other members. So I remember listening, and I was like, oh, this could have easily been an Oh My Girl song too.
Yeah,
because it kind of touches on all the different parts. But I like it. I like the live stage.
I really like her outfits in the live stage, like those pants that she has with they're all flowy. They're really cool.
I have a pair of pants like that where it's like shorts but then like flowy lace pants.
Yeah, I really like those.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seemed like she didn't do that many live stages of the song, like maybe just a few, but
she did more than I expected her to do. But yeah,
I really liked them all though. They were good. I will say, I didn't initially vibe with the song. I guess we'll talk about Diver, but Diver and the title track I like the most. And then, but this track really grew on me, especially as I watched more live stages. So I think this is probably my third favorite track on the album, but this is a very solid release overall. So all the songs are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just talk about Diver, because that was the standout, I think,
absolutely,
from the album. I know there's a lot of people in the Discord that agree that that's one of the best B-sides in K-pop of the year.
I think for sure it is.
So happy to hear that, because I think it's fantastic.
It's also nice just because last year my favorite B-side of the year was Checkmate, so it's nice that another Oh My Girl song is up there this year.
Yeah. It's just so I'm so happy that YooA was the member chosen for a solo debut, not to I would have been happy with any of the Oh My Girl members, but YooA was just such a clear choice in that she is a vocalist and a dancer.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love YooA's vocals so much, and just you really hear it, I think, in Diver, of just how good her voice can be. And it's just
I will say,
especially when she goes deeper.
I was just gonna say, she has a very nice deep voice that isn't the fake high register that a lot of K-pop idols use. And I wouldn't say I was the biggest fan of her vocals, or I didn't really notice her vocals as much before, but I definitely have a newfound respect for her vocal capabilities, just because of how much I enjoy all these songs, and I see that even when she's standing by herself, she can really pull it off and pull her own weight for sure.
Yeah. I'm just so proud of her. And then I guess I'll talk about Far next, because to kind of get that one out of the way, because that was my least favorite of the album.
This was actually initially my... I guess it was never my second favorite, because Diver and Voyage, but it was my third favorite initially. But now it's fallen to fourth, just because I like Abracadabra more. But
yeah, I remember Far was the one I was least looking forward to after hearing the highlight medley, just because it has the drop, and I was like, this is boring. I've heard this drop thousands of times, and that easily is the worst part of the song for me. But I really like the verses. I love every other part of the song, and then the chorus happens yeah. But it's another song where I just feel like she sounds really good.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree. I really like the instrumental. I don't think I have that big of complaints about the chorus or the drop, but it's just a fun song. All these songs are pretty fun.
It's just a solid EP. I can just listen to it.
Yeah, I've been listening to it quite a lot.
Yeah. And I love the ballad too. I think it's such a good ballad.
I think it's my least favorite, but not because it's bad. I definitely enjoy it. It's just, for me, it's just kind of it's a ballad.
It would have been a lot better as a group song, or at least with one other person. Just
Get a little duet going or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she harmonizes with herself on it, and it sounds great. Like, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, oh man, if Red Velvet did this, like, I think it could be really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great song, very well written. I think, yeah, it is missing something to, like, really, like, elevate it, but it's so hard to have a good ballad, I think, on a K-pop album, because you always know they're coming.
Yeah.
And you're always just like,
and I feel like a lot of times they're only on the album, yeah, exactly, mandatory, like, because it's like, oh, well, we got to put a ballad on here, and then they put a ballad on there. It's like everyone can tell, like, nobody was really here for this.
Yeah, exactly. So this one, I was like, wait, this is actually like I felt something a little bit. I'm happy. So I'm just very proud of YooA and her solo debut. And I look forward to another solo from her or something from the other members. I'm hoping we can get a BAM comeback.
Do you think that's ever going to happen? Or do you think that's just a one and done?
I don't know, because BAM is a very weird, like, it's not even a subunit, really, because all of the members are, like, in BAM.
Yeah, it always confuses me why they're in the music video and stuff. And, like, they're
in the music video,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you watch their showcase, all the members of Oh My Girl at the showcase, because the B-side is the other members. So like it's not. Yeah,
B-sides are kind of unfortunate though.
Like it's just the title track that's free. Mm-hmm. But I would love some kind of any kind of subunit. Like I don't know. It's hard to say because RN is busy being an MC, so she's kind of out. Doing anything.
She gets like a lot of like CF deals and stuff. I've been seeing her like all over the place in ads.
Yeah, her and YooA.
Yeah.
And there's Hyojung. Now Sungi has a CF. They're all just blowing up.
They're killing
it. So great. I'm so happy for them. I hope next year is more of a year that they can start releasing more music. Since I feel like this past 2 years we haven't gotten too much music from them. It's been more of them just kind of building up this popularity.
We got the album last year, and like like whenever a group puts out an album that good, like I'm satisfied forever, because that's like an amazing album for me. Like if they never put out another album, I'm okay, just because like if you do it once and you do it great, like that's enough.
Yeah. I'm just so happy for them. I never thought they'd have this success. It's really weird.
Yeah, because when you started standing them, they were pretty small still.
Yeah, relatively. It was when they like
compared to where they are now, and like
yeah. Now they can like rival like twice for like records and stuff of like Dolphin and Nonstop have just hit some absurd like numbers.
Yeah,
that's weird. I don't even understand it myself, but I won't question it. I'll accept it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's always fun to see your faves succeed.
It is, especially when they're like an underdog kind of fave.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like, what like kind of gets you with like BTS of like they started off and they weren't like big.
Yeah.
But they had this progression and like a movement behind them. And now, I mean, they're so popular that, people might not care as much, but there is something fun about seeing that growth.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone loves like an underdog story. It's touching.
For sure. So, any other thoughts on YooA?
I don't think so. I just love her.
Great release. We want more.
Yes, please. More Oh My Girl stuff, please. Then, after, just like CLC, another group that was brought from the dead, back from the dead, we got Promise 9, which is like the craziest thing to happen this year, I think.
I was like a little bit worried that they were just going to be dead.
I had this hope because they were still posting content. I knew they were
like a
there.
lot of YouTube stuff.
Yeah, because most of the time when a group's kind of dead, you just don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Like, Promise Night, still like they posted like a cover, and I'm like, you guys are here. And then they didn't do KCON. I'm like, oh wow, they didn't do KCON. Like this might be it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't do KCON because they were preparing for the comeback. They didn't do this next KCON either, so maybe they just don't want to do KCON.
They're too big.
But Yeah, I am so happy to have Promise Nine back, and I think this was a great comeback.
Yeah, I was very pleased. Like, I have very high expectations for them, just because like I really liked all their previous title tracks. Yeah, but like not like their release. I'll say not their releases as a whole, but just title tracks. Just because like.
Okay.
I really like fun, so like for me, they've never missed on a title track before. So like,
I guess I just see you as you would just like anything they put out.
Well, that may be true, actually. I mean, if I like fun, right?
Yeah.
So it actually it exceeded my expectations, just because like I felt like they might drop down. And granted, this is definitely for me. I don't like anywhere close to like Love Bomb or something, but I actually think this is one of their. It's probably like middle of the road title track for me. Like I think it's better than.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Glass Shoes. Better than DK, and that's probably where I'd put it. Better than fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that has like this lasting impression of like, you know, when you think of Promise Nine, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they had Feel Good.
Oh.
Like that was like, I don't think it's gonna be something like that, but I think this was so good. It's grown on me a lot. I mean, I liked it when I first heard it, but I think as I listen to it more and watch the live stages, there's more I start to really like love about it. Like the whole beginning of the chorus is just so like
it's really good.
The whole like rainbow in sky. It's just so.
I've been like saying this to myself, just like humming it randomly.
Yeah, you know, you feel good.
Yeah.
The whole, I just love Nakyung's whole part at the beginning of just like, just such a great intro to a song. It's a great song. I'm so happy.
I would say like,
I was gonna be so sad if I didn't like the song.
That'd be 2 in a row. So
I waited over a year for it.
I think it like the first time I heard it, I was like, oh man, this is. They delivered. Like I was a little bit like worried or hesitant, and then I streamed it like a whole bunch the first few days, and then I started watching the live stages, and it grew on me even more after that. So I think it's like I'd probably put it like top 15 songs of the year right now. It's definitely up there for me, because I know like a lot of people in Discord were saying like, it's okay, like it's not that special, but like I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely growing me. I also am obsessed with the music video. I think they just look phenomenal. I don't know what it is, if it's the styling or what.
The styling was definitely like there for everybody. I'll say like my quality nerd in me, like it's only a 1080p video, and it's like it's 2020. Like you need to be uploading in 4K. Like I need to watch this on my TV, and if I can't watch it on my TV, like are you even doing music videos anymore? That said, it's a great music video, but
funny. I can see that. That's definitely a music video that it needs to have that, beautiful quality because of just how stunning the visuals are. Like the girls look great, the colors are great, everything looks great. So we got to see it at the full quality.
I really like the colors in the music video, and I mean, I guess their outfits in the live stages, but just like it's like a cool color palette maybe, but it's a really nice mix.
And I like a good like 70s vibe.
Yeah, and it kind of like
their outfits
matches the music style too. It's just a very cohesive theme to it.
Yeah, and it's fresh. Like it's not.
It doesn't feel dated at all.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've talked about this a little bit, I guess, with Promise Nine of like what's so like good about this whole comeback is for one thing, the line distribution in this song is like kind of pretty great.
It's shockingly good. Yeah.
And just in Promise Nine songs, for the most part in general, there's never that one member who's just like has that one line and then you never see him again.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely some members who get a little more screen time or a little more like vocal time, but it makes sense to their position in the group, and it's not like it cuts out other members
yeah.
from getting their chance to shine, which is really impressive for a 9-member group.
I was surprised with how much like solo and screen time Jiyeon got in this one, just because like I feel like she always like being the youngest and kind of like the least, I don't know, vocally developed maybe in the group. Like, I felt like she kind of got like punted in the corner on a lot of songs, but like she got like a few solo parts in the song, and she gets like that solo dance, or I guess dual dance with Nagyan at the end. So it was cool to see like her get to shine a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. It's promising. Yeah, the whole concept of the comeback, I kind of talked about this. I didn't go as much detail, but it's like it's fresh, it's cute, but it's not like cute.
Yeah.
And it's just like authentically, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just nice.
I think it's like a nice development for them too.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a gimmick of any kind. It's just like it fits them, and I really like it. It doesn't feel like they're trying to be like, hey, we haven't been back in a while, so we have to like fit with the trends of what's popular right now. They're just like, hey, let's put out this song. And I think it worked.
Do you want to talk about that one dance video with the handbox?
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, because right now it's was it Chuseok? I don't know.
Yeah.
Korean's terrible.
Korean.
But so all the groups, all the groups are doing like the Korean dance practices. So they have like their traditional clothes on, and usually with the girls they have like the very feminine like
with the huge frills in the bottom.
Yeah. And Promise Night comes with like the headbands and like they just look like they beat shit up. I am obsessed. I thought that was so cool and so unexpected.
It was very unexpected. Like when you posted it the other day in Discord, I was like, where did this come from? But I love it.
Especially for like the song itself. Yeah. It's like not fitting, but it was great. It was so great. And then there's the other dance practice where they have like the staff members like doing the fan chants or something.
Oh, that was so cute, and like all the girls like start crying and stuff. It was really adorable.
The Promise. How about? Go ahead.
I gotta give a shout out to Gyuri this comeback, because like she was always the member just because she was like kind of like because at the beginning, like when I first got into Promise, she was like not there because she was on
Yeah, she's the member that was on Produce. That's kind of what she's become, it seems.
Yeah. So like I was like kind of like never really noticed her that much, but I'll say like she's really stood out this comeback. I know I said this in Discord, but like her styling is really good, and then like her parts in the song are actually really good. Like when she sings like the little like rainbow part towards the end of the song, I think that's one of my favorite parts of the song.
Her smile is so cute with it too. Like she's adorable. Such like an innocent, like she just looks happy.
Yeah, it's like a genuine smile. Where she's like trying not to, but she just like accidentally smiles. It's really cute.
And it's very much, it feels like her. She was like that on the show, where she just seems like a genuinely nice person who wants to like do well and be happy, and like she's not like trying to be like this idol. Like she's just like, no, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I mean that's how Promise Night just feels. Like I love them. I love them.
It's a very fun group.
Yeah. Like it's hard to not like them. But how about any of the B-sides? Any of them stick out to you?
So I really like Weather. That was like the one that stood out the most because it's kind of a unique sounding song. I think that's kind of intentional though, because obviously that's like the, I don't know, like the not B-side, but like it's supposed to be the standout song. They always have that one song per release
they like might promote it later.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that has the feel to it.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any standout ones?
That's the only one I remember. I haven't really revisited the album.
So I'll say, like, I've listened to the album quite a lot, and I've listened to a lot of the songs quite a lot, but Promise is, like, not the type of group where, like, I'm like, oh, this hidden gem B-side is, like, what you really got to go to them for. It's, like, they have really good title tracks, and most B-sides are, like, they're listenable, and, like, they're good. So you can, like, listen to the whole discography, and it's good. But, like, it's not like, oh, I really need to listen to this B-side. So some of the B-sides kind of like mush together, and I can't really remember them. But I
definitely got that from this EP. I know like they have some B-sides that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I don't think this added any more to that list of like my top B-sides.
I think like
22 Century Girl.
22 Century, yeah, that's like my favorite one. I think that's actually better than DK.
I love that song so much.
Yeah. So that's fun. I'll say like the only thing I can remember from the B-sides is that the last one, Mulgogi, whenever I see it I think of Bulgogi just because it's off. But I don't have actually any thoughts on the song itself. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah. I definitely need to re-listen to the B-sides. I've just really listened to Feel Good the most off of that. I know I liked Weathering or whatever it was called, the second song.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's excited to have Promise back in our lives.
Exactly. Hopefully they'll not wait another year now before coming back again.
For people who aren't in the Discord, there became this running joke of one of the members would, Stu, he would keep posting the announcement that Promise has a comeback on June 3rd, but it was for when they came out with Fun, and he would post it, and people think, holy shit, Promise is coming back! Nope, it's the post from last year.
I feel like he got people with that every single time he posted it.
Every time. It was wonderful. We'll have to make a comeback next year.
Or later this year.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. I hope maybe we can get some special stages from Prom. Especially, oh man, I can't wait for the Halloween special stages. It's always the best.
Oh, yeah, for sure we'll get one.
Get
maybe
Red Light again.
I'll say some covers or something.
Yeah. Yes. Promise Nine's one of the best groups of covers, I swear.
I really like their covers.
All of them have been great.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of SM covers.
Yeah.
So, stan. Yeah, but I guess after Promise, the next thing that really took over me was the Everglow comeback with negative 77.82x dash 77.29. I don't think I got that right.
It's close enough for our purposes.
Yeah. I am obsessed. I'm still obsessed.
I'm also still obsessed. I didn't think, like, the first time I listened to the song, there was, like, some parts of it that annoyed me, and I was like, this is a good song. I really liked all their singles besides, what was the second one?
Adios.
I did not like Adios, because that's just like a Blackpink song, and
it's a dark hole in their discography for me.
Yeah. So that one's a skip, but all the other songs are 10 out of 10s. So
yeah.
I was expecting a fair amount, and initially I thought it was like, oh, this is not as good as Dun Dun. But since listening to it many times over the past, I don't know, week or 2 weeks, however long it's been out, I think this is going to make top 10 of the year.
Oh, it's so good. It's actually funny. I feel like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this instantly surpasses Dun Dun. And then I listened to Dun Dun today for like the first time in a while, and I was like, I forgot just how fantastic Dun Dun is. Everglow is kind of like they're up there for girl group of the year for me, in that they nailed it both times with comebacks. Both of them had a B-side that I absolutely loved. So they definitely have stood out to me so much this year. And I'm kind of shocked because last year I didn't even want them to be like, I didn't think they were the best of the rookies. And I really love them. Granted, I was like, I think ITZY's Rookie of the Year, and this year I love ITZY even more than I did last year, because I didn't really like them that much last year. Everyone and ITZY have just been so great this year for me.
What did you think of Bon Bon Chocolate?
I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was definitely a very iconic debut. Like, it was one of those where I'm like, oh yeah, this is going down. Like you can feel its impact when it came, and I really loved it. But with Adios, I was just I know where this group's going.
Exactly.
Like,
that was how I felt too.
Yeah, and
that's
then
kind of how I felt about Card for like a while, but then Card redeemed himself, and then they did too. Like, there was only one song, and then Dun Dun, I was like, oh man, they're right back where they were.
Yeah, I remember when Dun Dun first came out. At first, I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I like Everglow because I didn't like Adios, and this is kind of like in that same like concept of just like, the Blackpink were badasses. But then like I listened to the songs, like like I would just go throughout my day, and I would just be like, dun 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 dun, dun, dun. And then it just like spiraled. I'm like, you know what? I can't like. Well, who am I trying to fool here? I really love this song. And I love that song. And La Di Da, I knew I was gonna love it the minute I heard the teaser. And I feel like I could just go off. Like I could watch the music video and just gush about like every frame.
I'll say music video is in 4K.
They just look fantastic. The whole floor choreography at the very beginning, just like
I love that part.
Kills. It's so cool.
There's a lot of floor, like From had a lot of floor choreography
this
too.
year. Yeah. Signature like started it off with terrible floor choreography, and I feel like every company went, you know what? I think we can do that, but better. And it's just really stepped up. I always laugh when I see floor choreography because especially when they're in these like nice designer outfits.
Oh yeah, and just rolling around on the floor.
Crawling on the floor, and especially because it's like the first move. That they do is like go to lay down, and then they have to like get up. It's such a good song. I love that Sion got to shine this comeback.
I would say like I never really had a bias before. Like no one really stood out that much, but I think she's my bias now, just because I really like her in the song.
Great.
This comeback. Her styling's on point. I really like all her points in the songs. Like her singing is fantastic. She's got like the really good stage presence, but not like overdoing it. Because you definitely like I think some of the members like can get a little bit too out there sometimes. So I think she strikes a nice balance for me. Yeah,
I definitely agree. Yeah, I know I haven't picked my Everglow bias yet. I know it's between her. I really love Anda because Anda is so cute. Cute. And I really love EU, and I really love her personality. I think she's really funny, and she's a really just like good leader. Like I don't know, I watched some of their variety stuff after Dun Dun because I wanted to know the members a little more, and she definitely surprised me of just like how she's like kind of just a dork, and I just really liked that.
I've never watched like any of their variety stuff, so like my only interaction is basically like music videos and live stages. So I've never seen them like talk or give an interview or on a variety or anything like that.
Yeah. And like the only variety thing I remembered before that was Anda doing her sloth impression, which is really cute.
I remember that.
Yeah. And no, China, don't eat the cord. There we go. And I guess as for the B-sides, I think Untouchable is fantastic. That's definitely my favorite of the B-sides.
I think that's good. Like, to be honest, like none of the B-sides really caught me that much. It's definitely all about the title track, but
the title track
exceeded my expectations anyways, so like I'm not really disappointed or anything. I'm perfectly satisfied.
Yeah. I think I can listen to this whole EP just front to back over and over again. I don't want to skip any of the songs. Whereas Reminiscence, which came their first one from this year, I only want to listen to the first two songs. I don't care about.
I've even like listened to much besides Dun Dun there, so.
Yeah, Dun Dun and Salute were the only songs.
Oh, I like Salute, so that's good.
Yeah. The other songs I remember was Player, which I didn't like, and I can't even remember what the other one was.
I remember liking Player, but I don't remember the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely not songs I listen to like that often.
Yeah.
I really like all the live stages though. Like Everglow is that group for me where like I watched the music videos and they had good music videos, but I never really watched their live stages. And I like the songs. I just for me to watch live stages, I have to have like the right combination of like the song being good plus like the choreography and the styling and they also like line up for me to like really watch a lot of live stages. So I mean like it sounds weird to say, but like of this year, like I've only watched maybe like 5 groups and like 3 of them are the ones we talked about today. So like I definitely like on a kick lately of like watching a lot of live stages.
Yeah. I just realized all we've talked about is women.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's, you should just expect that with us.
You like Wonho, though, right? Wonho's pretty good.
Oh my, yes. That song has to make my top 10 at this point just because of how much I obsessed over that. Oh my god. Like,
I was totally out of the loop on that. So like when people were like, I didn't even know he was coming with a release or anything. So when people dropped the music video and like, you need to check this out, and I watched it, I was like, whoa, like it's actually like better than I expected. Plus like all the abs everywhere. I was like, damn.
Okay. So some like backstory with me. So for one, I'm not a Monsta X fan, like in any way. Like I like some of their songs and from like certain eras, but I have not been feeling them these past few years. Wonho is definitely not my bias. That sounded kind of harsh, but you just like, he wasn't my bias.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, I know of him. He's in the group. He's the guy with the muscles. I typically don't really focus on muscle-y guys in general. So just like it's just not something like I'm really into. That music video like changed me.
The shirt with the zipper that's like half from the bottom.
Yes. Oh god, the English version of that song too is just one of the most like sexy things too. Like I don't know, oh my god, I was just like, there's not too many times where I feel like the lyrics really get to me. I was like, ooh. Oh my gosh, I am such a fan. I am however, so disappointed that the photo books for this comeback aren't related at all to the music video.
Really?
Yeah, they're just like him like soft and like on a beach or something. I'm like, no, give me the zipped up sweater thing. Oh, I love that song so much, and he needs to do more of that. That is his sound, and I don't want to say I'm happy he's out of Monsta X, but I'm very happy he has this opportunity.
I mean, it feels almost like escaping a sinking ship, maybe a little bit.
The way that it all happened too, it does almost feel like he was like, "Hey, this is my out" in a way, because it's not that he was kicked out; he kind of chose to do it. Like, the company didn't really kick him out of the group. They didn't kick him out of the company.
Yeah.
He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna remove myself from Monsta X, and now he does his solo music. And what is it? A weenie? I'm a weenie. Or is it a wene? I don't know how it should be pronounced.
Is that really what it's called?
It's like WENEE or something. I don't know. But whatever that is, I'm gonna identify with that.
That's pretty funny.
I hope he keeps doing this style and sound because it's so good.
I was shocked just because I had zero expectations, and I guess given Monsta X, I was like, but it definitely far exceeded expectations. So good job.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations until I remember I heard the trailer for it or the teaser. I just heard like the bass or something. I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. And then I saw like the still shot of the music video with like the skin tight shirt, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What is this? And so good. So good.
So, any other songs that were on your mind lately? I guess we got our men quota in a little bit.
Honestly, I feel like I'm forgetting something that I loved, and I'm just like not even touching on. I'm like looking at my albums that I've bought recently, but nothing's like really standing out, I guess. How about you? Anything?
Not really. I guess like it's been a while now, I guess, but like I really like the weekly debut, so it's been a while since I really liked like a debut group right off the bat, so I guess we'll see what happens with their first comeback in a couple weeks.
I'm excited for the comeback.
Yeah.
I'm
a little bit
I like to see where they go.
Exactly. I feel like it's going to be like mostly more of the same. Like I don't think they're going to do like a radical shift or anything, but
yeah. I hope it's something different. I don't know. I feel like overall I've been kind of disappointed in girl group debuts from this year, in that there isn't like this one standout of like, this is like the group I'm gonna stan.
Yeah.
I mean, besides like, you know, my girls YooA, but they don't really count. But and like even it's like there's not even like a good like competition. It feels like.
Yeah.
There's like last year, you know, you at least had, you know, like ITZY versus Everglow or something like that.
Yeah, and you had like the previous year like Luna versus From Us, and
you also had Idol.
Oh, Idol
well.
too. Yeah, I think.
And
Yeah.
IVE won.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was a stacked year.
Yeah, like this year, I'm like, who's debuted? I know there's been a bunch of new goos.
It's a whole bunch of new goos like Red Square and YooA and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the big ones you got like Signature's a new goo, right?
Yeah, and Signature, if they hadn't just this last release, I would have been like, Signature is my rookie of the year. Then they had it.
I really like their first two songs, and then this last one I was like, I don't know. Like, that's unfortunate.
It was a bit of a miss. It was like, oh, they kept going in that direction. Like, no. But hopefully, you know, they'll recover from it. I have hope.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with them.
I guess Blackpink album comes out now.
Oh yeah, it came out 20 minutes ago. So one thing we were talking about doing was giving our fresh reaction. I guess they're not doing a live reaction, obviously. But we'll give our fresh take on the Blackpink album. So Discord people are fully aware of BAM's take on Blackpink. And we're not Blinks. Quite the opposite.
You can definitely say that.
So, I guess it's probably the best that this is at the end.
Yeah.
So, people don't make it this far and get upset. But I think it'll be interesting to see. I know I listened to the teasers. You haven't.
No.
So I kind of know. Yeah, I kind of know what I'm getting into. I was also a huge fan of how you like that. It's so random.
I still don't understand why you like that.
I think it's just like, it's one of those songs where I can't describe why I like it. You just have to like see me when the song comes on, because I just get like so like into it. Whereas like, because their other songs are like almost like too serious, whereas this one I'm like, it's just quirky enough that I just kind of like, this is fun. I don't know. And I think it's their best choreo, and I'm just like, this is my favorite Blackpink song. And then I was never not a fan of Ice Cream. Yes, you weren't either.
I don't think, was anybody a fan of Ice Cream? I don't really want to be mean to Blinks, but oh no, my cat just stepped on my.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you typing?
Okay, so I definitely fucked that up. My cat stepped on my thing for a minute, but we're back. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I think Paige liked Ice Cream, and she was the only one, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, Paige. No one else is like really on board with it. But we'll see. I am excited for the Cardi B song.
I am excited for that. Just to see what happens.
I remember from the teaser, it's like not what I expected. It was a lot more relaxed.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting. I am excited for the song that has the growl in it. And it was like the second song. It just made me laugh, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And the non-Teddy song also sounds kind of interesting. One? Yeah, there's one song that's not Teddy.
Oh, I'll look forward to that one.
I remember when I listened to the teaser, I was like, it's this one, isn't it? Like, yeah, it was like, had a feeling.
Okay, so
all right.
I think there's going to be a jump cut here, and then we'll come back with our Blackpink thoughts.
Yeah, so we will be back. Hi guys, so this is Sam here. As we just said, we're going to do a cut, and we're going to now talk about the Blackpink album. However, there was some issues with, technical stuff, and my audio is not there. So, editing me is going to try to recreate whatever I said. So, sorry, and this is probably going to be really weird, but I didn't want to get rid of it completely. So, yep, enjoy this. Okay, we're back. So, now that 30-40 minutes have passed, we have both listened to the Blackpink album and watch the music video, and we're gonna share our first thoughts, our first impressions of it. Not entirely sure what I say here, but I guess it was funny because it made Baron laugh. So that's nice, I guess. I think I start going in just kind of explaining that we didn't read what the Discord said, but Discord has been talking about it since it had just came out, and Baron's going to reply.
Yeah, I did not look at anything.
We have also not talked to each other or shared our thoughts, so this is really just going to be a first-time thing. Even though I am recording this, I already know the conversation, but it's fine. Baron's fault. I'm just going to wing it. Okay, let's start.
Sounds good. Do you want to talk about the music video first?
Yeah, I'll take it away. So, I thought this was a classic YG song. This is the slower sound all their groups do. Like Big Bang does this.
Yeah. It's like anthem-y kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ballady. Yeah. Wasn't quite expecting this based off of what they have done, because Blackpink kind of has a pattern.
Yes. I was not expecting this, but honestly, it's better than any of their singles in quite a while for me. It's not like a song I love, but I really did not like most of their past 3 or 4 singles, so it's definitely a step up for me. But again, it's okay.
I definitely don't like it more than How You Like That.
Yeah, you really like that.
I also don't understand how this happens, but every Black music video is the same. They're always driving in a car.
Yeah.
Rosé's crying. They all look phenomenal.
Yeah.
This comeback with just how their makeup, their styling. It's
I thought the styling was good because I feel like in a couple of their past music videos, the styling's a little bit too out there.
Too much.
It's a little too much. So I think this is very good styling without being obnoxious. So I think that it was good. The music video, honestly, I don't remember much of it. It's kind of forgettable.
I just remember the one part where I thought they were in California because they had the wind thingies.
Oh yeah.
And it's that one road in California with all the wind thingies, but
yes, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's the 5 up through the Central Valley. Yeah. Sure.
I just know I had to drive through it for the Oh My Girl concert.
Oh yeah, you were out in the middle of nowhere for that.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I see the windmills in music videos, I always kind of point out that it's that California place. And I thought that was weird if they went there during a pandemic, but I don't think they did. But overall, for the actual song, I think it's fine. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I feel about it. But for me, that's an improvement. Oh yeah.
I don't know what I said there. I'm sorry. It's a fine song. It's not quite like their others.
Yeah.
I'm not
I gotcha.
really looking forward to the live stages where I'm not as excited for it as their past songs.
Oh, I agree with that.
It doesn't quite have this performance aspect to it, and I just remember they hit their heads a lot in the choreography. I don't know why they do it. It's the only thing I remember. It was weird. The choreography just went hard for no reason.
To be honest, I don't really remember the choreo. It didn't really
I just remember this. They kept hitting their heads. It's funny. Okay, I've talked way too much now. Baron, I think it's time for your thoughts. Go ahead.
I'll say it. Given my expectations were not very high, I felt it raised my. I was like, oh, okay, this is not awful. Maybe I could, we'll see how the rest of the album goes. So it set me on a good path to start. I'll say that.
Yeah, I definitely felt like it was safe and not quite.
I don't know how it feels about title track, but as a song itself.
Yeah, it's definitely more relaxed, and
yeah,
it was a different kind of direction, and I could just this whole anthem style that YG does a lot, but I could see if you're a really big Blackpink fan, this isn't really maybe the direction you want.
The bangers.
Yeah, you want the bangers and the bing bada boom.
Yeah.
I think because I had listened to the highlight snippets, I knew what to expect going into it. So I could see how this was really unexpected for some people, but I was kind of braced for it.
Yeah. I did not expect that. I was expecting another banger kind of, so it kind of caught me off guard just because I didn't want any teasers.
Yeah, well, so speaking of bangers
Yes.
and more like Blackpink songs or like what should have been the title track.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
B-sides, not obviously counting How You Like That and Ice Cream. Pretty Savage, which is the one that has the growl. I just loved how I have that little piano intro into the growl. It's just, I kind of love that stuff.
So,
Yeah, yep. I lagged. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, okay, I'm back. Baron, what are your thoughts?
So this is only after first impressions. So I listened to it once and I listened to it again after I finished. I think this is my favorite Blackpink song.
Wow.
I actually really like this. This is a good song. It's fun. Like the rapping is really good. Like the ending's a little bit, but like overall, like it's a really good song.
I really liked this is a part in the chorus with the instrumentals and the ba da bum bum or whatever.
Yeah,
the instrumentals underneath. It's just so good. Yeah. I mean, you know, Blackpink's got to have their bada bing, bada booms, but this is like the first time that I like really felt it.
Yeah.
It's just very good. Really love that part. I think if this had been the title track, I might not have liked it as much because of the trajectory that Blackpink has been in. They've been putting out kind of the same song for the past few comebacks. So I ramble a bit here. I don't know what I say. I just keep talking and talking. So, oh my gosh. I really talk too much.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. I guess I kind of talk about like, oh man, Blackpink's kind of good.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this, and now Baron's gonna say.
I thought that too. Like I listened to Lovesick Girls, the music video, and then I started the album, and I skipped the first two songs, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? This is actually this is good. Like, very pleasantly surprised. I'll say like the only part I wasn't big on, which if you know me at all, is like makes sense. Like Rosé's bridge, I just don't like the way she sings, so like I did not like that bridge. And the outro is a little bit weird, but like she's a very characteristic voice. Yeah, and like I don't really like the YG style of singing, so that makes sense. But Lisa on the song, she's so good. The rapping is just fantastic. Even Jenny's good too.
Even Jenny.
like normally she's like, I don't know, like her rapping is a little bit hit or miss maybe, but like it was definitely hitting here.
Yeah, I don't know what else to really add here, but I think from the teaser I just knew I was going to kind of like this because of that growl, and I like that kind of more direction for Blackpink. I really don't know what more I can talk about here.
No, I assume you don't like it more than How You Like That.
No, How You Like That is like the perfect amount of just like weird, quirky, it's out there, it's campy. I just
campiness, yeah.
Yep, that's what I just said. It's not like their last releases with like Kill This Love, do 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 do. It's like maybe too serious, too badass for me.
They're very serious. Well, I mean, Kill This Love especially. That one's like...
Yeah. And so, like, with this, it's like the lyrics are funny and, like, you know, like, look at you, now look at me. Look at you. Now look.
The bird, the plane,
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. And, you know, I just love the drop. It's kind of, you know, like, quirky.
Yeah.
It's not like that badass bass kind of drop. And I remember when I first heard it, I thought it was the worst thing I'd ever heard. And now I honestly think it's pretty amazing.
I think I stayed more towards the first than the second.
Yeah, I just really like how I like that. I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't remember what I keep saying here. I just keep talking once again. Yeah. Yep. And I just really like that song. I don't know. It works. It's cool. Can we change the topic now? Next song? Nope. We're gonna keep talking. What am I even saying at this point?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. Oh, no, I'm talking about how I like the dance. I know this now. I know that. Yep. The song gets me. Okay, can we talk about the next song now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, like, I had my only expectations of this is, like, I think Cardi B will do well, and then I'm curious to see how, like, meshes with the rest of the group. And I don't know, what are your initial thoughts?
So, this might be a hot take.
Oh, what's that?
This was my favorite song on the album.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I just really love this song. I think they sound great. I like Blackpink. I really like Cardi B's part in the song.
Yeah.
It's not very like Cardi, she's not whopping, but I think it still kind of works. But I can see people be disappointed. I don't know what more I'm talking about, but Baron's getting his cat, so that's probably more exciting. Look at the cat! Who cares what I'm saying? Look at the cat. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I like this as well. I think this is my second favorite song on the album after Pretty Savage. Yeah, he is. He gets like very bitey when he's excited. So he's a little bit amped up right now. He just ate his food. He always gets very excited after he eats food. But anyways. So I was like, I don't think the feature like really meshes with the song that well, but like I wasn't really expecting it to. And I think individually, like I think Cardi B's her verse is very good, and I think the rest of the song is pretty good. So overall, the songs, if even like maybe a little bit not the most cohesive, I wasn't expecting that. So I think it actually exceeded expectations. Apparently, she's getting into some heat on Twitter now or something.
Yeah, well, apparently, I guess she's been hacked. I don't know what's happening.
I do appreciate her just for like how little she gives a fuck, and like she's like very honest about everything. So I'm sure that's.
Oh, hey, there's my cat. He appears. Okay, but yeah, now I'm going on to her Twitter.
She's still tweeting.
She has deleted the past tweets, which in those tweets were kind of like, I don't need Blackpink. Like, they contacted me. I didn't contact them. But, like, now she's saying to stream it.
Oh.
So, I read the tweet here. I'm not pulling it up.
Oh, so she's doing it.
Yeah, so now she's, like, promoting it, I guess. So, that's... Oh, she laughs. Mwahaha! Because I guess it worked.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's fascinating stuff. Good old Cardi B.
Yeah. Because I thought the initial thing was, like, people were getting mad at her because she wasn't promoting it, so...
Yeah, I think it was more like how when K-pop and Western artists collab, the K-pop fans will usually get mad about it, of like, you're just jumping on the bandwagon, you're just using, them for attention, and you don't really care and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cardi's like,
yeah,
I got ass, man. I got my money and did the collab, so like, who cares? But enough about Cardi. Once again, go back to the song. Great song. I loved it. I
think it's a pretty fun song. So, and it's definitely a better collab than Ice Cream. So, points.
Yeah, that's fair. But does it top Sour Candy?
No, Sour Candy. Oh, I think that. I guess if you count Sour Candy, I don't count Sour Candy as a Blackpink song. That would be my favorite if you do. Sour Candy is a 10 out of 10. That is a fantastic song. Granted, it's mostly just, it's a Gaga song, but Blackpink's there. But
yeah, I think I have issues with that song of just like the cohesiveness of like it's
it's like not Blackpink at all.
Yeah, it's like Blackpink and all of a sudden it's Gaga. Like so it's weird.
I really like that song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Once again, not sure what more I really have to say, and no clue why I start making that face. Oh, I'm still going. Are we talking about the next song now? Oh, wait, I think the next song, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, so like, at this point, like, it's been 3 songs in, and I've liked all 3 of them. I'm like, oh man, no.
Oh, I guess
like,
not.
we're actually getting somewhere. Yeah. So, next song, Crazy Over You. What'd you think of that one?
My note, it just says no.
Yes, the drop is really bad.
Yeah, not for me.
Yes. It was at this point that I was like, oh, never mind. Like, maybe we're not going to like this album.
Yep, this was Blackpink.
Yeah.
This was, yep, that my favorite part of the album.
Yeah, like, I was like, kind of okay, like, skeptical, but kind of okay. But as soon as the drop hit, I was like, no, like, this is not it for me.
Yep, I got really nothing really to say.
Yeah, that's all I got.
This one was easily my least favorite of the album.
Well, for me, besides Ice Cream. Ice Cream's the worst, but...
Yeah, although there are, like, parts of Ice Cream that I can, like, kind of like...
But also, to be fair, I haven't listened to Ice Cream since the music video, and I only watched it once. So, like, maybe I should listen to it again, but...
I remember that Selena Gomez looked fantastic. And it just has stupid lyrics.
That is also true.
Which I'm all about. I loved some of that stuff so much. Like, some of those lines were gold. Like, Jisoo's, like, cherry be on top of me line. Like, that's genius. You love that kind of stuff. You can't write that stuff, guys. It's one of a kind. Oh, man, I lagged out. Oh, there, I'm back. What am I talking about? Next song?
So I guess next song?
Yeah, next song. Can you talk this time, please?
So this one, like, is kind of just there. Like, I didn't really have strong feelings either way. Like, it wasn't awful, and it wasn't really that great. I thought the drop was a little bit weird, but it wasn't awful. So, like, this one's, like, the middle of the line forgettable song to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I tried to read my notes because I don't remember what I wanted to say, and I just I really can't read my notes. And then I
wrote down a few things, but that's
it. And they're like, oh, I remember what. Oh no, I don't remember. Oh, now I remember what it says. I could hear this being on the radio, which is how I felt about a few of their songs actually on this. But I don't really dislike the song. I think it's a good song. Definitely, good Western safe radio playable song. Oh, I remember it started like Take Me to Church, the da 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 da.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you, Baron. Always can count on you. But that was all I really remember from the song is that part in the verse.
I'm gonna assume you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that I talk about it a little more. It's like I just think about that. Okay, I can't be the only one, right? Maybe I am. But yep, it's a fine song. I don't think I will go back to it or really remember it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too.
Hopefully that is actually what I said and that is how you feel. I could have said anything right there and just had you agree with me. That would have been funny.
Okay,
but,
so
so what?
I actually will listen to this album again, so
whoa.
It's better than expected.
This guy, we got a new Blink here. I will say I like this more than their past two releases, but I don't think that really says much because I didn't like the other ones.
The bar was low, but it was surpassed.
Yeah, so you know what? Blink, take the compliment. That's like the nicest thing you're going to get from us about Blackpink. We've been really nice, I think, tonight.
Do you have any thoughts on the last song? For me, it's like kind of the same. I don't know, as the previous one.
Yeah, I thought this was good. I believe this is the non-Teddy song.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, no Teddy whatsoever.
Maybe I need to listen to it again. I didn't really that didn't stand out to me on first listen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too.
Yeah, they sound great. I think this is some of the best Blackpink has ever sounded. Yeah. And I applaud them for sounding good. And I have no idea what else I say here, but I am complimenting Blackpink, and that is all you need to know. And I am saying how much I adore them and think they're great. And Blinks are my favorite. And yeah.
I'll have to listen to that one again.
Oh, I don't know what song I told him to listen or I don't know what I talked about, but okay, yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna have to make a jump cut at some point coming up because I don't know what more there was that I said. But Barrett's gonna share his thoughts on the last song. Kind of, it's really not much.
I just wrote down it's like a slowish song, so like that's all I got. But like,
yeah.
Oh, hey, bud, don't hit my keyboard.
Cats.
Okay.
Yep, I talked, and I'm just gonna cut ahead. Okay, nothing exciting happens here.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, seriously, thank you for listening. If you made it here, which you probably didn't.
Any final sign off?
Bye.
See ya.